Hey guys, and welcome to Storytime. Today, I'll be explaining my experience and point of view of almost dying from a chicken nugget. Here we go. To start, I woke up on the morning of just like any other morning. I got out of bed, grabbed some breakfast, grabbed my scooter, and headed to school. When I got to school, I locked my scooter up just like any other kid that brings their scooter and bike to school. Walk into school, go throughout my day, just as normal. Then come lunchtime. So the class I had previous was my theater class. We were in there, we were listening to musicals and stuff. We had a great time. Then we go to lunch. I have to walk up this nice flight of stairs to get to the lunchroom. I go to the lunchroom, I stand in line to grab my lunch. The lunch for that day was chicken nuggets, which there's about like 4 or 5 chicken nuggets in the bag, and they're terrible, by the way. You just have to eat them just so you can get something in your stomach. You had apple slices, grapes, a bag of Cheetos, which are like not Cheetos at all. I'm not sure where they get these Cheetos from, but they're just not Cheetos. And you had the milk. So I grabbed the milk, I grabbed the chicken nuggets, I grabbed the Cheetos, the apple slices, and the grapes, and I walk out of the lunchroom, and I go to the table where I usually sit with all my friends from my friend group. Now, I go to my friend group's table, I sit down, and I place my food on the table, and I begin to eat. Now, I didn't realize that these chicken nuggets were very, very bad. So I opened up the chicken nugget bag, I grabbed the chicken nugget, and I placed it in my mouth. Now, as weird as that sounds, I was just trying to eat. And I put the chicken nugget in my mouth, I started to chew, and I swallowed. When I swallowed, I had some sort of pressure on my chest. It did not feel good at all, and I could already tell what it was. It was something getting stuck in my throat. So I grabbed my milk, and I tried to take a drink of my milk, just so I could try to push the chicken nugget down. That way I don't have that pain or pressure anymore. Right, so I grabbed the milk, I start to drink it, and nothing happened. In fact, the opposite of what I wanted happened. I started to throw up the milk that I just put in, along with some other things, but it was not the chicken nugget because I still had that pressure in my throat. So my friends saw that and were like, go to the trash can, go to the trash can. Everything was coming out. I had milk coming out, different other things coming out, and it just was not going well at all. So I continued to throw up, and then finally my friend Elijah walks over and he says, hey, are you okay? I could barely mumble words because I was still in so much shock and I was still had pressure in my throat area and in my chest area, so I couldn't really speak. So I said, hey, are you able to go grab an administrator? Because I could not breathe. So he walks over, he grabs an administrator named Mr. Jordan. He comes over to me, he's like, hey, are you okay? And I'm still over the trash can, just yakking, just completely yakking it up. At some point, I just stopped yakking and my throat became dry and I just could not breathe at all. He started to give me the Heimlich maneuver and to karate chop my back. And so a bunch of the administrators came together and even the police got there at one point. They all were trying to give me the Heimlich maneuver and trying to ask me if I was okay. At this point, a bunch of people had gathered around and they were taking videos, and everybody in our little quad area that plays soccer, they play football and volleyball, they were all told to clear out because they didn't know what was going to happen. So in this case, my friend Troy, who was over on the other side at this point, had grabbed my phone out of my backpack and called my mom. Called up my mom, and my mom said, hey, what's going on? And my friend Troy communicated to her that I was over the trash can, I was choking, and that they had called the paramedics. My mom quickly, as a mother should, grabbed her stuff, ran out of work, locked up her store, and ran straight to my house, grabbed my dad, and went to my school. I continued to sit there and try to process what was going on. My brain started to kind of slowly shut off. Then the paramedics arrived. They say, hey, are you okay? What's going on? I was telling them I had something in my throat. And so he said, take a deep breath. He said, stand up straight and try to drink some water. So I grabbed the water that he gave me and I tried to drink it, and it came right out. It just was not stopping. I could still feel that pressure and my throat was still dry and I could not breathe. He said, do it again. I did it again and again and again. And on about the 4th try, I finally took the water and I took a big gulp of it and I just forced it down as hard as I could. and the chicken nugget went down. And then I could start to breathe again. And I started mumbling words like, thank you, and I started to breathe heavily and stuff. The nurse came down with a wheelchair, and I sat in the wheelchair. My friend Elijah walked me all the way up to the nurse's office, where they just rolled me all the way up. I sat down in the nurse's office waiting for my mom to come. My mom finally came, they rolled me outside, and the paramedics talked to my mom. So what seemed to have happened is when I ate the chicken nugget, it got lodged in my esophagus, and with me trying to take in water and milk and all that stuff, it got inflamed, so it became harder for me to breathe, which is why I got a dry throat. They told me, hey, are you okay? I said, I'm fine now. They made me sign off on a little thing saying that I was fine and I didn't need to be medically transported to the hospital. I got in my car and I went to the hospital, got checked out, everything was fine. Then I got told that I needed to go see a gastroenterologist to see what was going on in my esophagus area. I did so. I took some blood earlier today. They poked me like 3 times, but I'll be fine. I'll go see a gastroenterologist soon to go get what's going on is figured out. But yeah, that's pretty much my experience on how I nearly died from a chicken nugget. Let me know your most insane experience in the comments below, and let me know if mine was just an overreaction or do you think I actually had a shot of not living. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all later. Peace.